We're ready.
Good morning. We are iStruct, and we are here to present you our proposal for the Navy Operational Support Center at Fort Custer in Battle Creek, Michigan. We provided you the handouts. You can follow along with our presentation, Jeff's site walkthrough, Kyle's building walkthrough, and the lead breakdown. My name is Kevin Poole, responsible for transportation.
My name is Stephen Amberg. I'm responsible for conceptual scheduling and estimating.
My name is Casey Neighbor. I was in charge of the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing design.
My name is Kyle Van Sice, and I'm the project architect.
I'm Eric Meyer, in charge of structural and geotech engineering.
I'm Jeff Zimmerman, and I'm in charge of hydrologic and site design. The first thing we need to consider with the site is where it's located. Here we're driving up on Denso Road, and we realize it's a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit heading into the project site, where you're first of all welcomed by the entrance sign for the site. And then as you can see here, we're going to install an RCP pipe for ditch drainage. Next is a typical road cross section, which is shown here as 12 feet lanes and 6-foot shoulders with a depth of 6-inch asphalt. Next we'll look to the west of the project for the east-west access road and see that it dead ends. And that's because we're going to connect that in the future to the motorcade that is currently there. Next we'll look at some more site hydrology with 2 RCP pipes. The sizes are shown on your handout there. And 2 more there for the driveway. And then we can get a good look at the site and then how that drains into those RCP pipes. Now as we face the east, the road also extends about 200 feet past the driveway, and that's also for future extension to Hillbrady Road. Now, this asphalt at the approaches is conventional asphalt, but the rest of the parking lot is pervious asphalt, and this is because regular asphalt is more durable for the turning radius of trucks. And then right as you enter the parking lot, you can see the dumpster pad, which is very accessible and close to the service entrance and the main entrance. We'll next look at the rain gardens. This is a big part of the site hydrology, and it helps to infiltrate pretty much all of the stormwater of the site, and it provides an aesthetic appeal. As you can see here is a typical cross section. It's about 4 feet deep and consists of mulch and graded subgrade. Now we'll kind of transition and look at the typical curb and gutter section of the parking lot as it goes around. And this consists of a typical 6-inch curb, and then the parking lot is a 3-inch asphalt, porous asphalt overlay with a 12-inch rock base. Now we're approaching the building, and this walking surface are open gridded pavers. This helps for both environmental and stormwater runoff. Next you can see the site lighting, which consists of 9 27 feet tall dual bulb luminaries. Here is the dual government parking facility that will be covered, as well as carpool spaces and low emitting vehicles, both here and back to the previous view. Now there is also motorcycle parking, which is in the same spot as where the dumpster is located, because that's both of them are made from reinforced concrete. Now we'll walk up to the building, and that path is lit by bollards, so that will be very good. And now I'll transition it to Kyle, who will show you the inside of the building.
So let's take a look through your building, shall we? You can see here we're entering the main lobby. One thing that I want you to notice throughout the duration of this walkthrough is that the materials are of a very natural nature. This is meant to simulate a harmony with nature and with the environment around it. You can see the distance learning center here, meeting the requirements of the RFP to have glazing from the entrance to the quarterdeck. We are in the quarterdeck currently. You can see the wood paneling on the wall. as well as the full height storefront glass for the main entrance and the clear story above. Allows for a very open and spacious lobby. We'll take a walk down this hallway here. The lobby was position 1. We are approaching position 2 now. You can see on your left-hand side some classrooms, trim, some granite trim above, and then the clear story at the very vertical section. As we turn the corner here, we're at position 2. And again, you can see the clear story above, and now we'll transition into a lower ceiling in the hallway. And on your left-hand side is the medical area. This is position 3. This is the main entrance to the medical wing. Very open and spacious lobby there for those entering. And here we have some storefront glass. This is position 3, 4, and 5 as we turn these corners. When we enter a full-time unit functionality space, on the left-hand side you can see the weight room. Again with storefront glass, this is a recurring theme as well. As we try and bring in as much daylight as possible, you can see a lot of use of storefront glazing on the interior as well to allow that natural light to reach the inner portions of the building. Here you can see the break room on the interior side. It's across the hallway from an exterior window, allowing that natural light to come in as well. Now we'll take a walk down the hallway and we'll enter the central portion of the building where we house the drill hall. And we will walk into the drill hall. You can see the same theme of natural masonry and natural tones in the flooring as well. You look up at the ceiling and you can see the clear story, allowing a lot of natural light in on the west side of the building. And now we'll take a walk back down this hallway. And again on the right you can see the classroom or the full-time spaces. And we will walk into the conference room here. Now, the conference room and the full-time spaces have an ACT ceiling, whereas most other areas contain a gyp ceiling. Here you can see bamboo on the floor. It's a very natural and durable material. And you can see storefront glazing between the full-time spaces and the conference room, allowing for a more cohesive feeling between the two spaces. Walking into the full-time spaces, you can see the bamboo flooring again, open area, and the open plan, and then the workstations. And now we'll walk into the service counter and back into the lobby. The service counter being the area in between the lobby and the full-time spaces. The requirement of storefront glazing between the two so that when you walk in the lobby, you can see the full-time spaces is clearly met there. So now I want to talk about iStruct's design process. And that model that we just showed you is important for 2 reasons. The first reason is it's important because we show you what our solution is. But it's important for the second reason because we allow you to see your building before it's built. And we will do this throughout the design process. And I'll get into that a little bit more later. But the thought is we have a blank canvas here. And we can move from it into the future, changing the design to whatever your specifications may be. We have a fully integrated modeling system that we incorporate into our schedule and our estimate. This is a 3D model, of course. You can see here on the right-hand side, your right-hand side, an example of what a BIM model can do for a project. In the top portion, you can see a fully integrated 3D model where we have mechanical systems as well as architectural features modeled. This allows us to see the interactions and any sort of issues that may arise before construction. Then you can see the constructed version, and you can see the similarity between the two. So this allows us to create a very detailed design before we move into construction, allowing us to foresee any issues that may arise, allowing us also to develop and build this building on schedule and under budget. One final thing to note is that documentation is very important. We understand that, especially with this being a government project. We have extensive experience in this area, and any innovation and modeling that we use will follow along with this documentation. So now I want to talk about LEED a little bit. There's a few handouts in your packet. But the main things that I want to point out are that there are 2 options. The silver option being the requirement of the RFP. We have met this with the addition of 4 credits, being at about 2.5% of building cost. To achieve these strategies, we're using concepts of porous asphalt, parking lot, and rain gardens, as well as a green roof, daylighting, and alternative transportation concepts and incentives referenced earlier by Jeff in the site design. It's important to note that the base for silver is 50 credits and the base for gold is 60 credits. However, we are offering a few credits on top of each goal in order to ensure that we meet that goal. The alternative option, being LEED Gold, is our belief that the Navy shares the same values of sustainability and environmental friendliness and the economy that comes from LEED as iStruct does. So we want to help the Navy achieve the next level. And we believe we can do this well within the contract price. You can see here that it adds roughly about 0.5% onto the total cost. Includes 65 major credits. Incorporates strategies of bicycle storage, additional bicycle storage, better improved air filtration, and additional daylighting. The additional daylighting being added storefront glazing on the interior, allowing more light to reach more interior spaces. We also offer another alternate within this alternate regarding the air filtration. The LEED Gold option requires a MERV 13, which is the improvement that we have dictated. However, we also include an alternate for HEPA filtration. This will not help you achieve LEED Platinum, but what it will do is offer an even higher level of occupant sustainability or satisfaction and health. So it's just one way in which we can go above and beyond to make our occupants feel more productive and happy within their space.
All right, now I'm going to start talking about the milestones for the project durations. On December 7th, we have the government contract award. Going into 2013, February 14th, we have the early design approval. A little under a month later, we'll have the final design complete and the notice to proceed the following Monday. Building shell will be complete. Site and civil will be complete, and red zone will all occur within the same week, October 11th, 13th, and the 14th. And then about 3 months later, substantial completion, and then a month after that, we're looking at project completion. Our project design also should be noted that it was 88 days, and our construction and closeout was 365. And back to Kyle.
Okay, and as I mentioned earlier, we have a fully integrated design process. And the gravity of having such an innovative and productive solution to our project and to your RFP is that we can develop a partnership from day one. From day one, we can bring in all disciplines. We can look at construction, we can look at the estimating and scheduling side, and we can give you a product that is exactly what you want. We realize that while this is our solution, and we believe it is a great solution, we believe it is the best solution for us, we understand that there is a lot there to be had. We know that there's a lot of things that I'm sure you would like to add to this design, and it is good, but it can be a lot better, and we will not stop until it is the best possible design for you. And we do this by working together with you through this fully integrated design process by taking the current model, looking at it, tweaking it, making revisions, adding to it, removing from it, until you have the exact design to the exact specifications that you want. And we can do this furthermore by allowing you to see the design before it's ever built. And we can do this into the construction phase throughout the entire duration of the project. So this will allow us to give you the building that you most want, that you most desire, on schedule and under budget, through a partnership that lasts from day one throughout the entire duration of the project. So with that, we thank you for taking the time to listen to us and considering our proposal. And we'd also like to ask you what our next steps are, where do we go from here, how do we develop this partnership, and when we can hear from you next.
Great. No, I know. Anyway, they have us rendered into their model. Okay, could you guys go ahead and turn up that middle light for me?
What time are we at?
You were at 14:50.
Nice.
Okay. Just everybody come in a little bit, and I just want to ask a few questions. And the way that this is going to work is I'm going to come up with questions that normally the Navy might ask you. Some disciplines are a little bit harder than others, and so then I'm just going to throw you some other question because that's how I do it, okay? So let's see. Because of time, I realize that you really didn't have any time to talk about your mechanical and electrical systems and plumbing and such. So Casey, I would like to ask you, would you be able to expand on any special features that you've included in my building that you'd like to highlight?
Yes. To begin with, our R values for walls and roofs, we increased by at least 30%, if not more, to provide better building so that you don't have to rely so much on more expensive equipment and things like that to make your building comfortable. Along with that, per the RFP, we also included energy recovery wheels in the air handler, which makes them a lot more efficient. It provides, it allows us to use less outside air and reuse a lot of the air that's used in the building and recondition that. So it takes a lot less energy to recondition that air since we're pulling in less outside air. Another one of the things we did is we have our air handler located in the mezzanine, which is centrally located within the building, which provides optimum efficiency for the air handler. We also have your standard 2 boilers were asked to be provided per the RFP, and we gave those to you. Those are located in the mechanical room, and then we also provided you an air-cooled chiller located outside the building for cooling.
Okay, great. Eric, see, you're the structural and geotech. Tell me about your basic foundation design a little bit. What are you gonna give us?
So it's a system of spread footings, varying in size from 3 foot all the way to 6.5 foot. Decided on the spread footings based on the main thing is we didn't want to go too deep because there is a ground water there at about 20 feet in the location of the building, and we know that causes problems with corrosion. And given the site right now, it may need some improvement as far as compaction and possibly entry and fill, but we decided that would be the best method.
Okay, great. Let's go to Kevin in transportation. How many parking stalls do you give me?
We provided you with 179 parking stalls. That includes the 2 government van that's in the RFP, the 10 low-emitting vehicles for the lead credit, the 10 carpool and van pool spaces for lead credit, 6 accessible spaces for handicap, and then that number does not include the 6 motorcycle parking that we provided you next to the dumpster pad.
Great. Steve, you're doing scheduling and estimating? So we can't talk about estimating in this, so I want to talk a little bit about your schedule. And I don't have the detailed schedule in front of me, so tell me what you think the biggest challenge will be to meet the schedule that you've laid out for us today.
I would say just making sure that we get that building shell complete before November. If we can't get that complete, there's some, we won't have a weather-tight facility to work in to do all the internal work during the winter.
Great. With that, what kind of work is scheduled to happen in that winter time period?
Pretty much just everything that's on the inside. So basically drywall, studs, all the chipboards, that sort of stuff.
So you don't have any foundation work or structural work
all
happening
that,
in the winter?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, great. Lastly, I guess I would like to know, so, because I can't tell with the days, how many days from the start to the finish of your design? How many, did you go over the allotted whatever the
It
government
was,
said
it was
120 days?
it was 88 days, I believe.
Okay,
I think it's on the bottom of the slide.
okay. Oh, yeah. Correct. Thank you. All right. All right, well, I'll go back down here to Jeff and your site layout. I really, really appreciated that drive-through, and
Yeah, and that kind of shows you an aerial when it's going
Okay.
through. And
they did.
And right in the beginning, it didn't show, I had an aerial map that zoomed in from the maps of,
Yeah, I mean, I have it on a slide here, so I thought, okay, that
Yeah.
probably, we
that got
missed
cut off, but
So, when you laid out your site, how did you decide 90-degree parking?
because it was the best for both accessibility and the turning radiuses on the ends of the parking, and it was the most compact. And it
And-
just,
Yeah, okay. And which-
and it also asked for it in the RFP if it was available.
Okay. What vehicle did you use to determine if you had the right turning radii?
Oh, we use a fire truck.
Okay. All right, and then I'm gonna finish up with Kyle, with architecture and lead. Wow.
Was that a question?
That's a comment. I don't know what to ask. All I have to say is you guys, all right. So you started my day off really well, and I don't know that.
Setting the bar high.
They set the bar
Show
very
Dr.
high.
Stout the video.
And so, I don't know. I got nothing for you, Kyle.